Very quick. Trying to get ready to do a video. Boom, I see something online, Conor McGregor, and all of a sudden I can't think anymore. We are being, or we are letting ourselves to be led away from our first thought. And in psychology, the psychiatrist says, "What's your first thought?" And you start talking about something else. Oh my God. Let's stay on track. 100. OCD. Optional creation disorder. Optional creation disorder. 100, 10, 10, Roman numerals C. 10, 10, Roman numerals CXX. XCX 48 and 351, Mars. Why I say 100 is because 100 wants me to make sure that I do not lie. That I do not lie and I do not convey to you, the public, with the way I speak, to believe every word I say other than to understand the words I speak. Am I here as an illusion to the fact that I am deranged because of what has happened in my life? I am exactly what has happened in my past. For how is my past related to the moment that is leading me and all my sheep into the future? Because we want to have a leader. We want to have a leader because a leader is 3.78 US imperial or 4.6 Canadian, US gallon or imperial Canadian, related to weights and measures. We all want to see if there's somebody out there that can convey to us or help us to get on track towards the truth and understanding of creation, of recreation, or what has wrecked the reality of our own minds, where we're not sure what's real, where we can't trust anything anymore, when we go shopping and we see, look how great it's organic, and then we realize everything was organic to begin with. But it changed over time. For the better of humans, science has been changing the human being for the better or for the worse. So to understand every word I say, we have to know, how can we tell if Mr. Tackpan's Ronald Fremeth is telling us the truth? Mr. McDaniels calls me up and he says, "Ronald," he says, "you put me to sleep." Bah, bah, bah. Obviously, he was telling me I'm leading the sheep to sleep, putting them onto an alternate reality of thought that everything I say might actually be real. CC is also noted as JC because C is the 100th Roman numeral value, and C, although it is the third letter, and the 10th letter, C is the third letter, but J is the 10th letter, JC, Jesus Christ, 151. Mars in creation of the E-world, of the gateway to the passing of the moon to the one and one world in Gematria stakes. Gematria exists or it doesn't exist. It's an understanding of a numeric fact, of a scale, just the scale. And I'm going to show you one of these scales right now. I should show you the scale on a scalegram. I do want to add on something. Empty space for occupation and movement. In what coordinate position is my hand in the empty space allocated for movement? But there's nothing there. No, there's nothing there. I'm busy putting bees on my wall to bring out all the animals. So I jump all around, and I'm going to get back to 100. 100 has said a lot of things about I, representing Mr. Tackpans, which is the Mars system of vibration of 2, 3, and 4, and I'm preparing it right now on paper, the 2, 3, 4 vibration, the numeric values that go in, and I'm basing this on number 7. 7 up, 6 down, 2 hands crossing over your stomach, 5 and 5, sleep to the earth. I'm also watching a show on creation I also like to speak about all the famous and smart people out the world. They know everything that they know, and they cannot conceive the irrelevant, the misinformed. They understand that people are misinformed, but they don't understand the concept of why, or do they understand the concept of why, other than the mental disorder of being misinformed. Einstein had a chemical problem. As most people, we have chemical problems, whether we take the chemicals or the chemicals in us are doing something to our mind. In order for our minds to work this way, it could be the earth mind not connecting, but yet we're holding on to the star system of thought. Would we have a memory if they chopped us off from the thought process, other than the body knowing to be scared? I've been through this until they put a hand on my shoulder. Freedom. One hand, somebody scared, put a hand on the shoulder. Don't tell them anything. Just say, this is the hand for you to regain your own mind. If you think all is well, if you think all is not well, just want peace and relax the mind. Let's get on. I'll put it on pause again, and I'm going to get on to continuously creating these designs. These designs speak to me. They are poetry. And I'm going to interrupt myself again and jump on to something else, back to where I was, where it was 100, which is 10 times 10, 100 plus 20. When you add up 1 to 15, when you add up 1 to 15, or EIEIO on the farm of Mars, okay, that is when you add up 1 to 15, it'll equal to 120. Add up 5 more, 1 to 20, it'll equal to 210. The difference is 90. Remember that 90 is only 1/4 based on the firmament and the understanding of the rainbow and the pot of gold. And I'm going to write that down, pot of gold and rainbow. And Mighty Messer, if you do get to see this video, or anybody else, have him do pot of gold and rainbow, and he's probably done it, because his work, Mighty Messer's work, is ultimate to the reason that he's using the big numbers and he's associating and rebalancing with big numbers, and that's hard to get to down the line. I'm using all the numbers that get to the big numbers, right? And the minute you hit 6, you're on the other side. 6 plus the numeric first value from the alphabet that is after, okay, using Pythagorean situation, that S is 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10, makes 6 times 19, 60 and 54, the clock of the sun, plus 10 equaling to 64, Zion, Israel, the 2 barnyard X's, 6 times 4, 24th letter X, reverses C3, equaling to 10, 10, 100. These numeric values do connect. If life is perfect, poetry is perfect, then the numbers will always revert to say something. It's insane how perfect the numbers talk. Now, what the truth is of what they say might be what they call apho whatever that I am, that I think that everything that connects is a true value. The thing is, once you go too far, everything becomes pieces and parts, just like, hey, look, I got 2 pieces of a puzzle, but one goes here and one goes here, and there's absolutely no fitting link until the puzzle is finished, and you can say, okay, I see what it all looks like. I see what it looks like here, and I see what it looks like there. Completely out of the vision of each other. Just like when you're watching TV, the car behind the other car, you can't see because of the camera angle. Angles, right? Angles. You have the 90-degree angle, you can't see that side. If you're looking at that side, not true, because if you have this 90-degree angle, you're seeing all the way through. If you have this angle, you're seeing all the way through, and that's the angle. You're also picking up these 2 intermediate angles. And this video is going to get long, and that's the way it turns out. So thank you, 100, telling everybody I am a liar, or I lie to my people, and the word lie and the word oil and the word law and the word wall and the word slide, okay, or grease monkeys, or the key to earth, in which lie, okay, said, and menteur, Man, to kill. Lie. Oil, okay, which, if it is backwards, oil backwards says loi. Loi in French to English says law. Law reverse says wall. Oil says slide. Go for the ride. It's like a grease monkey. Now, when you see, what do? Monkeys fix mechanics. According to the internet, when the site is down, they put up monkeys running around, hanging upside down, try to put everything back together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Pot of gold. I'm not going all around on the bottom. I'm going to top, and I'm going through who I am. I do not need to go through the bottom because I've gone through who I am. Here is the top round of the earth. It is not earth. It is the earth with no earth. It is the earth part of water. You go to the bottom. I'm going around. No matter what you do, once you go around like this, you have earth inside the circle. Now, the part that you can walk on the earth, to me, is flat. But there's nothing flat like a pancake, because just like the flat of the grader going down the street, the mechanic, what do you call that? The steam shovel, what do you call that machine? It's not a tractor. It's not a grader. It's, look at the hold on. Can't believe how long it took. How long it took. The bulldozer. The bulldozer. And I'm going to show you a picture of this. I'm going to show you a picture of this. The bulldozer right over here. And take a look at the picture of the bulldozer. I'm going to try and see if I can get it right over here. Take a look. We have the round wheel over here. We have the round wheel over here. This round wheel here, one in the front, making this move. Is this the part of the earth we're on that's moving around these wheels, bringing us from day to night? The bulldozer can make one wheel move, and then all of a sudden it's going like this, and the whole bulldozer turns like this slowly with one wheel moving. So anyways, we have to understand to conceive, concept, construct, destruct, reconstruct. So we went to the 120. We talked about Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to be designing this design over here, and I'm going to probably do it with you. This is the A section. This is the B section. This is the C section, but I'm just going to do it. This is D, so we're going to go 4, 11, 18, 25, 32, 32, 39, 46, 53, and 60. Wow, filled in the whole thing. And then, well, over here I could have did it. I would go to 43 here next. And then I would go to 50. And then I'd go to 57. And here I would go 5. And then I'd go to 15. And then I go to 22. Then I go to 29. Oh, 29. Then I go to 36. And then I go to 43. Wow, that's pretty funny how, let's see, 5. I missed it, sorry. It was 5. It was 5, 12. And then it was 19. And then it was 26. And then it was 33. And then it was 40. And then it was 47. And then it was 54. And then it was 61. And then it was 68. Which brings me back to the center over here. 68. 6 and 8 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So I should be going over all of these, and I'm going to do it again. 2, 9. So if I was to be drawing something, I would go 2, 9. And then from 9, I would go to 16. But I should go around it, shouldn't I not? Should I just go around this? What design will come from doing 2, 9? So we're going to bring something very small and do it smaller. We're going to go from 2 to 9. Then from 9, we're going to have to go to 16. So 2, 9, 16 creates this. Since it's 3 numbers, everything should be 3. And I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to explain to you right now why things are, what happens with 3. I'm not happy with this. So we're going to go 3. Let's take the number 33. Okay, we're going to go 11 by 3 equals 33, right? But I don't want to do that. I don't want to go higher than 9. So we're going to go 9 by 4 equals to 36. Okay, that's 3 above. So we need to understand a mathematical equation for that. Since I don't have one, I'm going to have to recreate something else out of the pocket of my mind. And let's use 16. Okay, 5 times 3 equals to 15 and 1. And we're going to now use 14. 5 times 3 equals 15 minus 1. Minus 1 and plus 1. Should we follow this factor? In fact, let's cut out the 15th minute. Let me just, so anyways, let me cut that out and reconstruct this. Cut out the 15th minute. We're going to go back to this area over here. After we got number 16 over here, we're going to go to number 23. So it's a continuation. Then 23, okay, goes over to 30, which is into here. Now all 30s become 36, and we're going to go back to this number and everything stops. We cannot use anything in the B house anymore. It must stop. So I have this area here, this area here, this area here, and this area void. I have 1, 4, 6, 8 void. 14, 18, 19. A and I is void, and 26 and 19 is 45, and we're using a total of 26. In the representation of dog, B and F, there are no black keys on the piano. Now don't forget, I make all this up. I'm not sure what it means yet. But let me continue on. After 30 becomes 37. So we're going to go from 3 over to here, 37. Then it becomes 44. So now we're going to have to come over here to 44. Okay, after we go to 44, we're going to go to 51. After you go to 51, it becomes 51 becomes 58, and we go all the way around, and this would be my basic design. Now this is a very rough copy. I would have to color it in. I do see that there is a heart that is coming out over here. I see the question mark that comes over here. I see a straight passage that comes 3, 5, and 7, which is the clock. So B now shows me there's the clock associated. It also shows me the bigger bubble, what it means, and the bigger bubble, what it means, and the smaller bubble, what it means, and the letter B. Now, this can all be an Irish kite. It can all be nothing, but it's art, science, design. Okay? Einstein said there was a theory about something, okay, that doesn't connect exactly the way science sees it because they can't create the formula. So we're going to go on and we're going to connect to number 6. And number 6 is over here, and 13 is over here, and 20 is over here. And again, when you get to 20, 20 becomes 26. It now goes over here to number 8. 26 becomes here. Then you go to 33 and back to 6 again. So if you did that, you would end up with this design, this diamond. But anyways, we're going to go 20 and 27. 27 is here when a big red sun in the 9th position. So don't forget, if this number popped up anywhere else, 27, which I'm not sure if it will or it does, but if it does pop up anywhere else, then the understanding for this 27 is in the 9th position for birth. So let's just leave this out because it's not the 9th position, because it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's now in the 18th position, according to area, space, and numeric values. Each one, I'm creating each individual, can I call it the nuclei of creation? Although I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 areas, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. This should be half the board. 21, 25, 24, 27. I should have to go to 36. Now, this is going to be confusing. Forget about what I just said because there's a whole mathematical equation and understanding and art to understand, because where does this become mirrored? Okay, but I should just stop and just continue on with this design. 27 becomes 34. Why do I choose here? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the seventh position, 3 and 4 is 7. If I go to multiplication, this whole thing changes. Addition, multiplication, now we're on the star system. Remember, the ambulance uses one kind of star. Hospitals, different places use different kind of stars. Some of them don't use this piece over here, and they just call it the seventh gate, which means there's a bigger separation of this, or they've angled these a little bit different. So now that we're on 34, we're going to go to 41, then we're going to go to 48, then we're going to go to 55, and then we're going to go to 62. Everything's complete. Now this is the seventh position. 7, 14, 21, 28. Look at that, 3 and 8, bringing in the church. 3 and 8 went next. After 28, we have, oh, sorry, 28 goes here. It's not the church anymore. 21, 28. Okay, this becomes U, and 1 and 3 is alternate current, and 49 is your passing gateway. Total of 49, 0, 7. 7 times 7, gateway to the green world. Green, go, because 49 represents green, and 49 represents the word 8, which is the two heavens, the two zeros, the connected universes. That obviously, let's see that we're connected on different size wheels, right? You can put this in here, and while this little eye turns, this will turn one time around, this will turn so much around, this will turn so much around, talking about alternate worlds. You know what I'm saying? If this one was turning, what would happen to this one? What would happen to this one? By putting an eye here, if I turn this way, this one will turn this way. Okay, this one will turn this way. What will happen to this one? Will it be grinding out on this one? I do not know. And when it's totally grinded out, this will make a point that'll fill in this area. What will happen, I don't know, so let's forget about it. I know it's a long video. So we have 28, then we go to 35 over here. 138, the spirit in the church. 35, electric company. Then we go to 42, then we go to 49, then we go to 56, and then we go to 63. 54, 63, 5 and 7, which is the moon, says love in numeric value, Pythagorean. Moon 3476, we have not reached yet. Here is 8. Now we have 15. Now we have 22. Go love. Why is this go love? Because G7 and O15 equals to 22. Go love in 8. Sometimes we have missing numbers. So what's missing? Here's the difference of 7. G is missing between these two because of the 7. It says go love heaven. Inside your 8, Neptune's planet. The reverse is the B world. And we can use it up against the Gematria level, because Gematria, fake world, goes 1 through 7. Gematria is a mathematical calculation for something. They shoved it in somewhere so that we don't forget. It means 3 of, mega, big, strong, powerful, the power of 7. 22, 29, 36, 43, 50, 57, 64. Did I make a mistake? We started 8, 15, 22, 29, 36, 43. Did I do this one before? I had 34. So now we see mirrors of each other inside 6 and 8. The difference of the 7th gate, the mirror of each other. We have the red sun, and inside creation we have the moon. G and E. Any craps? 5 times 7, 35. Any craps? And it was a multiple. So we see what happens. It's a multiple. So we're going southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest. These are obligations because of what the star system tells me. Now we have 9. Now we have 16. Boom. Birth into the gateway to the half-life, 9 and 7. Then we go to 23, boom, 975. Now remember, 975, there's a lot of things to look at. 975, pending which area of the world. Are we going 1? Are we going 4? Are we going 7? 4 will be your diamond pass. The 1 automatically takes center to the 7 pass, creating 9. Because surrounding 1 on your numeric values of 9, we're not using 12 because 12 repeats, so we're using 9. We use 9, around 1 is 8. Around the 4 system would now be 12. 4 in the center, 12 around. 4 and 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 and 12, 16 is now my half-life. 1 and 8 is my full life. P and R are the letters. All we're missing is the line of Q. I know it's hard to understand, but I'm just basically, let's just do this. Now we have 30, then we have 37, then we have 44, then we have 51, then we have 58, and then we have 65. And now we've created the whole system. Now what will this do? Now I have a system set up already for the vowels of this system, and that's right over here. Here, I did not do the letter A in this. Here is the letter E. It creates the Y, which is the 25th letter representing Earth, and the house, and the steeple, pointing into the 9 V, CV. 3 and 22, 25, Earth. The Y is the 25th letter. Using 2, 4, 6, and 8, 20 plus 9, 29 is your birth in Earth. This is the vowel U of E. Now, if I take this design, if I take that design of the value of E and I put it on any one of these, okay, it's going to give me different numbers and it's going to tell me something else in its construction. If I put it here, it'll show me the DC world running through the halfway house of the moon, connected to the 2 X's, which is the barnyard door inside 1, which could be the Mercury planet or Pluto, in the 10 world. Remember, the 10 world is also the 1 world, right? But there's 2 worlds. 1, okay, is red, but 10 is black. So you were looking at our AC/DC because of what the numbers say. 1 and 4 are the 2 different worlds, the 1 dot in the center to 8, and the 4 in the center to 12. And when you have the 12, what we're going to do now is we have this 4 in the corner here, and we'll have the 4 and we'll separate it. And to go around this separation, either I'll bring out 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring in a 4 by 4 again, showing me complete separations in one part of the house. 1/4 of the house is connected into the major house. 1 dot in here. These dots are all together. The 4 corners of the earth. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have to build something. So I can either build it out and go 3 by 3, or I can go 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, moving the position of the value of this one that's in the center. The Monopoly board and the week that we have runs on this, the AH heaven. Ha! The rabbit. Harrington. Harrington rabbit. The king ring ton not connected rabbit, because of things that have happened in my life that connected certain words, and the word to this is Ra, Maharaja, let's say. So that word, I would play with it. I would use the poetry or the symmetry and tell you how that works. Is it real? For me, it's real because it tells me a story. Am I expressing myself properly? That is another story. So now we go into here, the eye or the shin, because it now connects this shin over here. It also shows me a time. Normally this time would be in between the hours, or we would go 1/4 of a clock, 1/4 of a clock. Here is 45 degrees, 45, 135 degrees. So that would be an hour and a half, an hour and a half, an hour and a half. Is 4:30 or 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours. I go over to here, it's 12 hours. So this would be 9 o'clock in the morning. This would be 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on each side if I'm going by the 12-hour clock or the 24-hour clock. The 12-hour clock is AB, 1, 2, Abba, creation, strike. The 3-hour clock is only creation, and it'll bring me 3, 6, 9. It'll be 9 o'clock right over here. So you'll be going from 0, 100 hours, or 12 over to 9 o'clock. 9 and 3, 3 and 9 equals to Saturn, and also equals to 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 3 and 2 equals to the BC creation of the sky. If we take this, we can put it on any one of the designs over here, right? And obviously, I'd like to put it on the design for the eye, and the eye shows up over here. So if I was to take this design of the eye, I would actually go the eye. Let me take a look at this design. I would go like this, and like this. Let me darken that out. This is the eye to start with, and I stop over here because 30 makes me stop. All zeros equals 6, 6 and 3 equals to 9, and I'm back over here again. And if you notice, there's an angle, I can build something from this, and it also shows me height. If I was working from the E world is over here. I start at 5. 5 brings me over to 12. Then it brings me over to 19. Now I'm going to go right through 47 or around it. If I go around it, I believe I would end up on the lines and in between the two worlds. That is a gateway and is equivalent to 17 to 1. The question is, do I come all the way up to this corner here? Do you follow what I'm saying? Come all the way up to this corner. I do not want to do it right now. In order for me to do it, I go all the way up to this corner. I pass in between the line and then come down over here. So let's do it. I didn't want to do this. I'm going to do it with my red because I can erase it. And I come all the way here and over to here. And it really shows me like a number 7. I see the gopher in it, 5, 12, 19. And then 19, because 1 plus 9 equals to 10, and 10 equals to 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. It brings me over here. But eventually I do get back over here, because 19 becomes 26, which becomes 33, which becomes 40. And again, inside the 40, because of the 0, it'll bring me back to 1 again. All zeros equal 6. 6 and 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. 24th letter is X. 6 plus 4 is 10. Roman numeral X. They now have the barnyard doors where both worlds come together. So anyways, inside this design, I like to let's just go over this way, and passing over this way will create this design. 19 will then bring me over to, I'm trying to see which number was this, 5? 5, 5, 5, 5. Hold on a second, I'm a little confused right now. Okay, I'm going to take out the confusion because the way I began this, I went from 5 to 12 to 19, and then I only connected without going through it. I just found the major connection. I just used the major connection instead of going through, which is the Y. When I continue that major connection, I can create the 7 if I run through number 2. If I go above it, I can create the 7, which I do not want. The line in between the 2 here shows me I'm in the 5 position, just like the creation of 7. If I go to the O house, which is the 15th house, I should start on number 15 because it's the O house. I start on number 15 in the O house. So where is number 15 in the O house? The O house is number 6, right? 6 or 15. So I go from 6 over to 13. 6 over to 13. 13 over to 20. 20 over to 27, 27 over to 34, 34 over to 41, 41 over to 48, 48 over to 55, and over to 62. But in the O house, what has happened, I have to stop and think, why did I start on 15 in the O house, and over here I start at 6? When I start at 6 in the O house, okay, 6, 13, 20, it stops. 6, 13, 20. All I get is this, okay? In the O house, I get this. I don't get it when I start at 6. So it's telling me to start at 15. When I start at 15 in the O house, this design comes up. 36, 15, 22, 34, 4 and 7, 2 shows up. But in this design, it becomes 15, 22, 29 is over here. So I now see the birth inside the O house. When I started at the 6 number or the smaller number, okay, over here, it does not work out. So this is what I did in this one. Boy, I sound confusing, right? What I did in this one is I'm going E-I-O-U, okay? What I'm doing E-I-O-U. In this one, I am starting at the lower number. So in the U house, look what happens in the U house. In the U house, I have to start at 21. 21 goes to 28. 28 then goes to 35. Where's my 35? 35 is over here. So from the U house, I go 21 to 28, 28 to 35, 35 to 42, 42 to 49, 49 to 56, 56 to 63, 63 to 70, 70 becomes 77 and goes back to the center. So we go all around the center, and the center is last. So we can do that too. We're going to say, okay, what was last? What was actually last? Inside of here, it stops here. We have 43, we have 50, right? 50 becomes 57. It'll go over here. 57 will then become 64. It'll go over here. This one was last. So now we have a new equation calling in the U world, the center is last. In the O world, the 8 is last. 5 and 8 say spirit matrix. In the I world, okay, in the ninth world, where we start at I because it's 9, so it'll be perfect into this world. The last one happens to be 65, so in the 9 world, the 2 is last. 9 is first and 2 is last. Venus over to this. 2 and 9, B and I. Can we call it the binary world because the first 2 letters? I do not know. I cannot say that. So this is the way the E world, the O world, the I world. Where is the U world? I need to create the U world is over here, and I'm going to create the U world as, see, I had to start here with U, right? But I started with 3. The U world shows me this design, which goes leaving out the 4 corners and connecting the center. But in this design, it takes me from 3 to 10, which is over here. Why did I put 1? From 3 to 10 to 17. So I'm going to have to go, do I go around it? Can I go straight through it because it doesn't touch the circle? Which way am I going to do it? I'm just going to connect it directly, which I didn't want to. I want to connect it this way. I want to connect it this way. The way I was shown over here, to go all around the circle. 21, 28, 35. Why did I do that? This also shows me to create the club. 3 times this. Okay, I'm all screwed up here. This is not really what I wanted to do. 3 goes over to 10. 10 goes over to 17. 17 goes over to 24. 24 goes over to 31. So we're going to have to take away this design, right? We're going to have to take away this design. Wow, it's a long, long, long video for those who can handle this. So we went from 3 to 10 to 17, 17 over to 24. Well, it's not erased. 24 over to 31, 31 over to 38. 38 over to, I need to, hold on a second. 31 over to 38. 38 over to 45. 45 over to 52. 52 over to 59. It almost looks like a twin Star of David. 59 over to 66. And this is what I end up with. Should it be a little different? I do not know. Just like in this one, here is your A, H, O, V, and birth. Now we go to 36. I don't want to connect this to this. Or actually, the 36 we can do next, but it goes to 43. It all gets filled in, so we go. Then anyways, this is the way the scales work. So really, there might be a design in here. I know I made a mess of the page. I know I'm coming out a little erratic. I have to see where 25 comes into this corner or into this corner. I started with 7. So Earth inside the 4 house brings the gateway inside the 7 house. Brings me electric company inside the 7 house. Brings me creation of 6 or 3 and 6, which is noted on your cube. 3 empty spaces or 6 empty spaces. We have the cat, okay, sitting in the 7th house at 42. We have inside the 4 house, we have the Saturn sky, the passage to electric company and Hoover Dam. We have the barnyard doors inside number 1. Remember, we're going to do this again, and I'm probably going to redo this whole page. This is 1. This is 5. This is 3. This is 9. These are red numbers. This house over here, okay, which shows the sword. This house, the sword, okay, inside the O house. We show the diamond inside the U house. We show Shin inside the I house. We show Y, the earth, and we show the house inside the E, earth position. Every time you move 7, you move over 2. Every time you have 7, you move over 2. So let's see if that's true. First we have 4, then we have 11. 4 minus 2 into the 2 position. Then we have 18. So minus 2 goes over here to 18. 2 minus 2, you can't go to 0. 0 reverts into 9. 9 is a value of 1. Now from here we must go plus 7, 18, and 25. The 9 position moves into the 7 position, moves into the 5 position, moves into the 3 position, moves back into the 1 position. You take away 2, moves into the 8th position, moves into the 6th position. What this Gematria system does is Gematria descends by 2. 7 plus 7 equals to 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 5 minus 2. 5 plus 7 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. 7 and 5 is 12. So that's what that position does. You might add 7, but by adding 7, you descend 2 in the numeric factions. So all these numbers will talk. We have Mars inside the Venus house, inside the F position. We have the reverse of that, of 15, inside the Neptune house. We have the O, and we have the numeric value of 1 and 5, or the vibration for Mars. We have electric company inside house 7. The reverse of this, okay, to a factuation of 9, the reverse of this will bring the 7th gate, okay, into the creation world over here. We have 44, which is pH and I. 44, does 44 show up? 44 shows up inside the Venus world. So 44 to 51, 44 creates now 51. So we have 51 here. We have 51 inside 9. We have 51 inside 2. Where does 54 show up again? Does 33 show up again? We have 53 showing up in the house of Mars. We have 35 showing up in the house of Uranus. The reverse of Mars will now be Saturn. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to post it, and we're going to look for reverse numbers. 35 and 53 is 88, and that is the connecting skies. We minus it. It is 18. 9 and 9. Chai. The S letter is the first number that reduces to 1 and will reduce 18. The T letter will reverse from 2, okay, 20, reverses to 2. So all these letters from S until Z will reverse by 2. Anything else between J and R will reverse by 1 because R is the 18th letter. 1 plus 8 equals 9. We only go down 1. So we're going down 1 and 2. Everything is 1 and 2. If we take 15, we have 5 times 3 equals 15. If we had 16, we'd have to add 1. If we'd have 17, we'd have to have 2. If we have 18, would be 6 times 3 equals to 18. 9. So there's a numeric calculation for all this. It's always going to be the difference of 1 and 2 when you're multiplying or dividing by 3. 64 divided by 3 equals to 21. Times 3 equals to 63 plus 1. Everything will be always 1, 2 when working with 3. So 3 is the major number. It'll be 1 or 2 or exact. If it's 1, it's yellow, it's P. If it's 2, it's brown, it's earth. So we're talking about salt, water, and earth matter. Because when I go to the bathroom, and as a child, they taught me 1 and 2, to pee and to poop, the 1 and the 2, from the front and from the back. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus. Wow. The E world, the I world, the O world, and the U world. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus, where 19 reverts to 10, reverts to 16, reverts to 7. I stopped all of these when I reached the 0 faction. Thank you for watching this video.